Hello, welcome to Theosophy in Wales. I'm Dave Marsland. The personality ego. Well, what the Theosophists refer to as the personality ego is really what most people would call the ego. Now, Theosophists specify personality ego to differentiate it from two other egos that are identified in Theosophy within the constitution of man. Firstly, there's the spiritual ego, which is the interaction between the buddhi, Buddhic principle, the body of enlightenment, the second highest principle in the human constitution, and the highest levels of mind. This is formed from principles that survive physical death and therefore can be said, although evolving, to be immortal. Also, there is the reincarnating ego. Now, obviously from the title, that does survive physical death, and that is a combination of the Atma, the buddhi, which two together individual spiritual entity, or the monad, and again the very highest level of mind, which contains an essence of the life lived, taking experience and wisdom through to a future life. Now, although that's purpose is just to go from one life to the next, it does survive physical death, and the principles are immortal. So it could be said that the reincarnating ego is immortal. Now, the personality ego, no, that goes completely. You get a new one for each life. Now, the personality ego is a combination of the rational mind and the desire principle, Sanskrit word kama rupa, and this is really your passions. The desire is really your passions and emotions. Now, the lower mind does not survive physical death. It dissolves. The personality dissolves after physical death in the spirit realm, kama loka. Now, the interaction between the mind, or the rational mind, and the desire principle can give some people a lot of problems, because although the mind has brought us a very long way with technological civilization, and this is so that you can't fault that with what we've created, although we continue to create problems for ourselves that we're going to have to solve. But that's part of the challenge of our existence, and I think that is actually part of our evolution. But the mind has not quite evolved to the level where it can totally control the desires. In a future future cosmic era, that will be the case. But in many instances, the desire principle puts the mind in a subordinate position, and there have been a number of analogies on how, desire and mind. The horse and cart analogy, that the driver of the cart is the mind and the horse is the desire, and then if you don't control the horse, it goes where it wants, or it doesn't go at all, or it goes too fast. You have to control the horse, just as mind has to control the emotions and the desires. On the other hand, it's not a good idea to crush your desires. You need your desire principle, because firstly, a lack of emotion would make you very dysfunctional, socially dysfunctional, or even dangerous. So you need a level of emotion. It'd be, I wonder, with Mr. Spock from Star Trek, perhaps he's somebody who has no emotion, but I think the thing there is a very likeable lad in a way. But it's a very dysfunctional person who actually met anybody like that. Now, also, without your desire principle, you'd have no motivation. You need something to push you forward, to make you want to do something, to get you out of bed in the morning. And possibly, I can't think of anybody I've met with no motivation at all, but I've met some people with very little motivation, very little enthusiasm for anything, and possibly that is something missing within the desire principle. Finally, with the personality, the attributes and tendencies that you've developed in your previous life and the ones you're developing now affect your personality. You can strengthen attributes, you can deal with them, or sometimes they weaken if you perhaps don't pay attention to certain things. Certain strengths can become weaknesses, and that's something going from life to life that I think it's good to be aware of, that if you make the effort to deal with something within yourself, no effort is actually wasted, and that will affect your personality in a future life, just as how you've handled things is affecting your personality in this life.